GoThunderRolls.com here with the head coach of the women's basketball team, Tommie Johnson. Coach Johnson, you're coming off of a 2-0 weekend. One was a pretty win. One was a beautiful win. That game against Chadron was a tough one down the stretch, and it seemed when things started to go your way, they really took a turn. Talk about this past weekend, specifically that Chadron game.
Well, both games were just super tough, really. Black Hills hadn't lost at home all year, and this was only Chadron's second loss all year, so they both were super tough at home. But I enjoyed the Chadron game probably more than I ever have as far as an overtime win, overtime game. I thought our girls grew. I thought our staff grew. They were super tough and aggressive, and our girls had to make some adjustments. And I thought that just down the stretch, their ability to take coaching and execute and do what we need to do out there, make some defensive stands, kudos to them. But again, I think we got a special group of kids that embraced that adversity, and nobody there was no negativity. It was all focused on just getting the job done.
After this weekend, you're sitting second in the RMAC, and you're heading into a weekend where you only have one game as opposed to these two game stretches back to back. But on the contrary, let's talk about these other teams that are now having these makeup games all at once. How do you feel like that's going to carry over into the RMAC tournament? In terms of, do you feel that the rest will benefit you more, or do you feel like they're piling on games is giving them more reps late?
I guess it just depends on the team, and I'm not sure about other people. I know for us, the 6 games and 9 days was a bear, so I'm glad we got that over with. Our team personally responds better to rest, so I'm not sure what anybody else does, and our rotation's been getting a little bit tighter, so, we lean towards the rest, and our girls are, right now we're focused on us being where we are, and I'm not sure, who's making up games and who's not making up games. I think that's the other deal, is just because you schedule it don't mean it's actually going to happen right now. You never know with COVID and everything else. So for us, we're just really concerned about our girls going in as healthy as possible and finishing the season off one game at a time.
You've got these players in their set roles now, and we're starting to see the consistency in those roles. Mm-hmm. Alicia Davis is about as consistent as you can get on the rebounding spectrum. She averages 8 a game, and I think that she gets eight rebounds every game in that. But on top of that, you have Jazzy Hoos, who is a spark plug off the bench. You have Amaya Lewis, who comes in and is that spark plug on defense and then can turn those points into offense. And that's what happened exactly against Chadron State in those last 6 seconds.
Right.
But how do you feel like your plan coming in the season has kind of come to fruition now?
Well, I think they have brought in the roles. I think, we're playing the long game with our girls, so not to disagree, but I am going to disagree. We've got 6 or 7 kids that any given night can give us 20. Some of them haven't been playing as well because they are still trying to find their role because they all come from different places, but we're supremely confident in each other, and so I think they understand their roles, but I think bigger than that, our team understands it can be anybody's night on offense or defense. The biggest deal for us is we're getting more consistent energy on both ends of the court. And this is a team that passes the ball well. We defend with pride, and they love each other and take up for each other out there. So I think right now the biggest deal for us is understanding, do we play through Alicia and Jazzy? Of course, they're our horses, but they're also some of our best passers, and they're the first ones to acknowledge when the other girls get it rolling. And again, we've got, whether it's Amaya, Janiyah, Tamia, Ro, those girls on any other team, they could be getting double figures every single night, and they decided that they want to do everything they can to help us win a championship.
You've got Westminster coming back into Massari. The rematch game, you took care of business pretty handily up there earlier in the season. What do you feel like you're going to see when they come back into town?
Well, I think they've gotten better. Point guard Greenwood is playing out of her mind. They're shooting the ball a lot better from the perimeter. They're just a tough team. They're a tough matchup, but I think we've gotten better too. So I'm anticipating a really physical game, a game where it's going to be nip and tuck, and it's all about who makes the least amount of mistakes and who can take advantage of some different deals. So, and it's contrasting styles. They like to walk it up and execute, and we want to get out and run. And if styles make fights, we'll see which styles wins on Friday night.
Last question for you, Coach Johnson. Coach Hammer has gone pretty viral with his dunking and showing off in Chadron. When are we going to see a dunk contest between the two of you?
Well, you guys have just added to my New Year's resolution, so I'm going to have to get in some better shape. We'll go from there, but, Coach Hammer was obviously a great player and still in some great shape, and I think it's awesome for him to still be able to identify with his kids that way, and he's a great guy. I'm a Coach Hammer fan, so maybe we'll challenge him to something else. I'm pretty good in Connect Four, so maybe that's where we'll go.
Awesome. Coach Johnson, good luck this weekend against Westminster.
Thank you. Go Pat.